tools you'll need: 10 mil, little flathead, and I'm going to use this little trim tool. Before we get started, just so you know how these actually go on here. So here's a new trim I'm going to be putting on from the junkyard. It's very similar to the cladding. They still use these little black square tabs that slot in here. So the trick is, when you want to take this off the car, you can yank on it, but you're going to probably break all these guys off. If you want to keep these intact, you got to slide it off away from the front. So slide it towards the back of the vehicle. And I have a little trick here I'm going to try and repeat using this little tool. First thing I want to do is that you're going to notice there is a 10 mil bolt back here to pull the cladding on. So I'm just going to knock these off really quick. Next piece is you got to take off this little cover right here. I'm going to use this little flathead right here because it's very fine. If you have the very thin metal type trim tool, that's probably more preferable because it's very tight to get in here. But you just need to leverage out very carefully. Just, you gotta pop it off. If I can do it. So you see underneath there, just gotta get a corner up and kind of just, there you go. There's one right there. Just take your time with it. Eventually you'll get all the tabs like that. Just like that. And you'll reveal the holes for a roof rack mount. And then we gotta take off this 10 mil nut right here for a bolt. Let's crack it, get it loose really quickly. I have been able to do it by hand before. I'm not really sure if I can do it right now, but there is a little lip under here. If you lift off this part right here, there's an extension. You see like this little ridge that goes underneath this piece right here, and there's a little lip. It's like this little lip under here. And what I'm going to do is take this little trim tool, and then I'm going to lift up the front trim so I get a little more space, and I'm going to lock this in. There's a little trim tool on that little extension, and use that to push away from the vehicle to the rear. And that should help eliminate any issues. So more or less I have it in position now. Unfortunately I need two hands to do this, so I'm going to have to pause it here, but you'll see that I have it kind of locked in that in the groove of the trim tool, and that I just got to apply force to the rear here, and that should hopefully loosen the panel. So yeah, took a little bit of pressure. I was trying to be careful, and it popped off, and now I can, hopefully my tools don't get stuck in it. But now I should be able to pop this off. Now my spoiler is probably in the way a little bit, so I might need two hands for that one. So you push it back just enough, and yeah, my spoiler got in the way a little bit, but you slide it just enough and it'll unlock itself from the little nubs, and you'll see how filthy, how absolutely filthy it is underneath here. I haven't cleaned this at all before, so I'm gonna wipe this down. But yeah, that's how you pretty much get it off. And it looks like none of the clips are broken, which is good. So these are a pain in the ass, and I've found suitable replacements aftermarket at least. So yeah, that's how you do it. Okay, got it all cleaned off and dusted. I have a bunch more dust down that way, but I'm not taking off those panels. Maybe in the future, but yeah, bare metal. You can see the clips a little better now. Mine are in an astonishingly good condition considering the age and all the shit it's been through. So I want to put the replacement cladding on. I'll explain why I'm replacing this in a little bit, but I figure this is more important to show you. So just make sure that your piece lines up exactly how the original one did, because I grabbed the wrong one first by accident. And so the way I'm going to approach this is to see how the clips kind of sit, or how they position in relation to the clips. So I want to get it tucked underneath the spoiler over here, get it on the metal, and then I want to apply some pressure and slide it to the front of the vehicle in reverse order. But yeah, just make sure you're grabbing the right piece this time. And word to the wise, if you do have a spoiler like I do, and it makes it a little more difficult to weasel your way in here, because you have this little flange that had the extension that I pushed on earlier that has to go back in. That's going first, obviously. But with the rear, because you have this little hook that goes for the bolt, I kind of just finagled it to get this in first. And then I'm going to push it back up and also be cognizant that there's this lower rubber trim right here, the weather stripping, that needs to go over top of the glass and inside the glass area. So just be careful when you put it back that you're more or less placing it where it needs to go. And I need to, once again, adjust this. So I need 2 hands for this one. All right, I think I'm in a position where I can just start trying to slide them back into the clips, and I'm gonna do that. I'm not gonna lie, I thought that was gonna be more difficult than it actually was. I barely pushed it to the side and it just found its place and it fell in. And I'm trying to find some weak spots. With exception over here. I don't think that. No, it's found. I think it found its clips just as needed. And like I said, just make sure that black trim is underneath the glass. I noticed that with the age of these things, the top roof side rubber will dislodge itself. But the other thing I discovered after taking this off is that in this channel on the inside, that's on the metal after I took the cladding off, it felt like there's another individual piece of weather stripping that's added there too. I could be wrong about that, but that's what it looked like to me. So I think either way you're fine. But that probably explains why so much crap gets in there, is that little top weather stripping piece dislodges over time. So yeah, just gotta put it all back in reverse order. I mean, these bolts in the rear don't really seem to, it doesn't matter which order I guess you put these bolts on, but yeah, just put them back. Not difficult at all. Doing this by hand. I want to go back and ratchet it all down. All right, that's on. Yeah, that's that. And then just take the cover. Let's see, maybe. I wonder if it's either go like that and then. Actually, I guess it doesn't really matter at the end of the day as long as you get it locked in, it's pushed in there, and it clips right back in just like normal. And yeah, that's done. It was a little dirty, just off the junkyard element. I'll show you why I'm changing these out though. All right, so here's my original one. If you already spotted the defect, you might have already identified it, but right here and right here on the bottom is some kind of weird bubbling effect. Like, I can actually poke on it and it kind of shifts. Now that seems like you ever have like water behind wallpaper in your house before? That's what it kind of reminds me of. On the inside, there's actually, I don't see any physical, mark or why that would be happening. So what I suspect is that this is probably just a manufacturing defect with the plastic, where it's almost kind of like delaminating on its own. I don't know. I don't know why that happened. It's happening right here, and then it's happening on the other side as well. I've seen other elements just as old as mine, if not older. I've never seen another element with that same exact kind of thing going on. So I don't know how that occurred. The only other thing I can think of is that this glass was replaced a few years back because it got smashed in my neighborhood I was living in. And I wonder if maybe they didn't know how to take this off and maybe use the heat gun. I don't know. All I know is that it's there and it's been bothering me. It's minor cosmetic wear, but I notice it. So I figured it was cheaper. It's $20 for both these cladding pieces at the junkyard, and they're in good shape otherwise. Minus the weather stripping issue, but that's not a huge deal to me. And yeah, I'm gonna do the other side. Yeah, this thing is so weird to me. I mean, you can see me poking at it. It's not happening on the front, at least not that I can tell, but it's happening over here in the rear. It's pretty obvious too. See, as I'm pushing down on it, it's like pushing a soft button on a toy or something. Oh, just filthy. I don't even. Ugh. This is what living off a dirt road, I guess, entails, but this is also years. Oh, that's crazy, because even the one in the junkyard wasn't even as bad. It wasn't even close to being this dirty. It was just, ugh. All right, that took a little longer than I expected, but it's not perfect, but it's cleaner, as you can tell. I think one of my goals is to eventually find a day or a weekend where I'm not lazy enough to actually take apart everything in this car down to bare metal as much as possible and clean the ever-living crap out of it, because this dust is just everywhere all the time, and I want to be done with it. Anyway, so before you put the new piece back on, just make sure that these things then rotate out of place, because these these can't move. This one's not moving, but like that one's moving. So just make sure they're perpendicular, or parallel to the direction. So yeah, there is a long and wider. There's a longer and a shorter side of these. So these aren't perfectly square. They're more square, but they're kind of rectangular. So yeah, just reverse. It's the same thing on the other side. Just gonna pop it on. Hopefully it'll just go on just as easy, and make sure that little lip or extension is going to go underneath this piece over here. So yeah, let's get it. I will give Honda credit for this, because this is one of the stupidest, easiest pieces of cladding to get on, surprisingly. If I didn't have my spoiler, it would be 100% faster. But yeah, just like the first one, it just went, as soon as I got it in position, pushed down and slid it, it just locked right into place. Yeah, because I was afraid those little brackets would not latch on, or they might sit above or whatever, just whatever, not catch overall. So let's button this up. All right, and that's it. Hope this helped. Thanks for watching.